Good evening. It's 6 o'clock on the West Coast, 9 o'clock back east, and this is Lombard Bros Gaming. Once again, you're stuck with me for the next hour because the boys are back in Charlotte. They had a good day at the NASCAR Hall of Fame. Joe has sent us some information, some video. It's posted on their Facebook pages. You ought to check it out. But like I said, for another hour, you're stuck with me. So deal with it. There's my bud Spencer. Hello, everyone. Spencer, hello to you. Spencer was right on the point last night. Kicked off some no-gooders who were trying to disrupt our chat. Good for you, Spencer. You're a bud. You got my back, and I appreciate it. There's my friend Keegan is in. Pens fan is in. Anything Beyond is in, not the GOAT. O2, hello to you. Brian is in. Nice to see you too, sir. Brian is in tonight. Or Brendan. Sorry, Brendan. Brendan's a good guy. Met him a few times. He's a good kid. Jason Larson says hello. Hello to you, sir. B-Mill Gaming says hi. Hi to you. Glad to see you back. Brendan's telling me he just watched the K&N race from the Orange Show Speedway. He said he was on TV 5 times. That's good to hear. Good to hear. Maybe you'll get a chance on TV. Brendan's a good-looking kid, California kid, blonde hair. You know, the whole surfer routine, right? What TV needs. Brian says, I don't mind being stuck with you for an hour. Same thing, Brian. I don't mind being stuck with you. You're all right. Hom 34 is in early tonight. Racy Casey is in, says hi. Wade is in. Hiya, Wade. No, you're not late. You're right on time, buddy. I'm glad to see you. So it's we got a big hour planned. Wilton just dropped in. Papa Lombard. You know, my granddaughter calls me Papa. I like that. Wow, Outdoorsman says, ask me how I am. I'm great. I've been looking forward to this all day long. Good wait. Couldn't wait to get home. Got on the freeway, raced like a madman in the blue Jeep, got home safe, ready to go. Alan is in. How are you, buddy? And Spencer says if you're chained to the wall for an hour and watch an hour of someone, who will it be? Myself in a mirror, Spencer. That's what I got to say. That's who I'll watch for an hour. Just kidding. Anyway, anything with racing, man. If it's got 4 wheels and it's moving fast, I will watch it. That's all I gotta say. Dirt, asphalt, even those crazy planes that race. I don't know if you ever seen those air races where the kids are these guys are racing planes at 200 miles an hour in and out of pylons and all like that. That is nuts. But what can you say? Penny Bruno is in. Penny, nice to see you tonight. Racy Casey says, I'm a fan of Joseph. Hey, you know what? I am too. He's one of my kids. I like him. He's one of our 5. We have 5 children. Joe is certainly the biggest YouTuber of them all. That's for sure. And a good kid. And all the grandkids love Joe. For whatever reason, if you are under 10 years of age, Joe, the kids just love Joe. I think, I don't know what it is. They just seem to go to him. Keegan says, go Preds. Hey, you know what, Preds? Preds fans, I am all with you too. I mean, I have nothing against the Pens. Don't get me wrong. I could care who wins either side. I just want that it to be a good Stanley Cup series. Color schemes are kind of almost the same on those two teams. Should be interesting to see how they figure that one out. But what can you say? JDM's in tonight. JDM, I'm fine. We're good, and glad to see you here. Wade wants to know, who's my pick in the series for the Coke 600? I have no idea. Oh, for the NBA? I'd like to see Golden State win it. You know, hey, I'm in California. I want to see the California team win it. And quite frankly, I myself am tired of the whole LeBron thing. And everybody talks like LeBron is, you know, 2 steps, 1 step, 2 or 2 steps behind God. Quite frankly, I can think of about 30 guys I've seen in the NBA over my years, and I've been watching the NBA for 40-something years, who LeBron just couldn't match up with. You know, he might be one of the best today, but there are lots of guys that couldn't have. He just couldn't match up with. That's what I gotta say about that. But that's just my own opinion. I could be wrong, right? Everybody could be right. Everybody could be wrong. Billy Jr. Spencer says, hey, if being a kid is wrong, I don't want to be right. Hey, that's funny, Spencer. Spencer's got the jukebox going in the background, I guess. Let's see. Run Ronaldo says, Golden State Warriors will become the San Francisco Warriors again. Who knows? Who knows? I have a thing about teams that adopt state names, and I know you do it for marketing and all like that, but you know what? If you're in San Francisco or you're in the Bay Area, whatever. It's the Warriors. I always liked it when they were San Francisco Warriors. Used to have the old style logos with the cable cars on them. That was cool. It was cool. Alan wants to know who's excited about Cars 3. I'm excited about seeing it for two reasons. One, the graphics on those movies is spectacular. The cartoon work is spectacular. We used to have a neighbor who works for Disney, worked on Toy Story movies, worked on the first Cars movies. As an illustrator, his responsibility was for 2 seconds of work a week. That's what he had to produce with 2 seconds of work. Of course, there's tons of illustrators, and they're all doing different things. Some are doing one character, and some guys are doing background. Some guys are doing scene, different things, right? And their responsibility to make their quota is 2 seconds of illustration a week. That's amazing. That's amazing. But anyway, Wade says, Golden State is 12-0 in the playoffs. That they are. If they were to sweep through this thing, they'd be the very first team to do that. Now, the Lakers, of course, have been through the playoffs 15-1 twice. Used to be the first round was only 5 games. So twice they've been 15-1. To sweep 16-0 would be quite a thing. I don't know if it's going to happen. Whatever. It says Dale Jr. endorsed Bowman to drive the 88. You know what? I like Bowman. I think he did a good job last year with the 88. I think he's got a nice presence on TV. He's certainly not hard to look at for the ladies and all like that. I don't know. Way to man through a chest. I don't know what you're asking, Jason Larson. I'm not sure I like the question. Somebody ought to, if somebody knows what he's talking about, I don't know. Says it was announced Bowman will take on the 88 next year. I have not heard that. So if that's the case, whatever. I have no problem with that. I really don't. Wade says graduation is tomorrow. Like last night I said, Wade, enjoy it. It's a once in a lifetime deal. Dude, enjoy it. Soak in the day. Let it wash over you. You'll have a good time. No way the Cavaliers will roll and let the Warriors sweep them. Well, you're probably right, but who knows? Who knows? You never know. We were talking last night about what we were going to talk about tonight. And what we got to talk about tonight, and we'll talk about lots of things and all like that, but I wanted to talk about NASCAR Cup Series schedule for next year, for 2018, because there are lots of changes. There are some segments of the schedule that are not changing, but there's some that are kind of interesting. The early portion of the schedule, Daytona, of course, is always going to be first. The 18th of February. Then they go on to Atlanta on the 25th. That, I don't know, that's late in February in Atlanta. We lived in Atlanta for a couple of years. It's cold that time of the year. I hope they can get through there. I don't know who is ASF Youngblood, but your moniker there, I like that, is offensive. I think you ought to change it, guy. Anyway, Atlanta Motor Speedway, the 25th, who knows? The weather could wipe the whole thing out. Then you go into March and you have your West Coast swing, just like last year, no change. 4th at Vegas Motor Speedway, then Phoenix, and then Auto Club Fontana on the 18th. We'll be there. Martinsville, you go back east on the 25th. One thing we can say about Las Vegas, and I mentioned this last time we talked about Las Vegas, the single biggest attended event of the year in all of Las Vegas is the NASCAR event. They don't have a convention. They don't have a concert. They don't have anything else, any other sporting event in Vegas every year that is bigger than when NASCAR comes to town. So that tells you something about why NASCAR is going to Vegas twice next year, starting next year, because you know what? The West Coast loves to go to Vegas. People like to go there. And NASCAR likes to go to Vegas too. So that's something good. Motoring through the schedule now. April, Texas Motor Speedway, Bristol, Richmond, and then Talladega at the end of April instead of the first week of May. You know, I love Talladega. That's my deal. I will watch that race in Talladega if I got to sit up all night long. If I got to tape it and then sit up all night long. I just love that race. I've loved the race in Talladega since I was a kid, since they opened up that place. And one of these days I'll go to a race in Talladega when business isn't so busy and we are. I got a few days to go. I'll go to Talladega and watch that race. 2.67 miles, super speedway. When they say the word super, that is what they mean. Super speedway. Let me jump in here. Alan, you said you'll give the Charlotte Roval one chance, just one. You know what? You just might like it. You just might like it. You never know till you see it. You gotta give it a chance. Give everything at least one chance. I mean, don't do dangerous things one chance, but hey, this might be good. It might be a bunch of guys spinning out. It might be crazy. You might get a lot of passing and things like that. You might like it. Don't say just one. Say, I'll give it a chance, right? There's lots of things you got to give a chance. There's lots of things in my life, and I got to tell you, I'm 63, Alan, that I thought I would never do. And you know what? I am glad I did because, hey, you know what? I discovered something cool. Moving on. Charles is talking about, hey, moving July 4th race to Chicago, worst decision? You never know. You never know. That's, who knows. Let's move down the list. Dover in May still. Kansas still early in the year. Charlotte Motor Speedway, the All-Star race. Like we talked about last night, the All-Star race. The All-Star race we got to do something about, I think, with too many segments. That race has got to be like 90 laps. That race has got to be maybe 3 segments total. 30, 60, 90 laps, right? You got to give the cars time to come in. 20 laps, you hardly put anything on the tires. That'll be that's just not enough time for that. You got to change that thing. 90 laps. We want 90 laps. We want 3 segments. That's my own personal opinion. I could be wrong, right? So what can you say? And then of course you have the Coke 600 at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Once again, that is a long race, and segment racing is going to make it better. 4 segments, you get basically 4 green flags or 4 checkered flags in the race. That is cool. That is cool, and so that makes it work better. Early June, we moved to Pocono. Some people, for whatever reason, don't like Pocono. I like Pocono because it's so different, because you get 3 different type of turns. You have the 3 different lengths of straightaways. You have the longest straightaway in NASCAR. And I like that. For whatever reason, I like Pocono. I think it always provides a good race. And it's a chance for guys who wouldn't have a chance to run on a short track or something like that, a chance to just to muscle it out because of the long straightaways, you know. Brian says it's tricky. You're right. It's tricky. Michigan International Speedway. Michigan's 1.5-mile cookie cutter as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, they get up to 200, 205, 210 sometimes at Michigan, but they're just running 1.5 mile oval, and I think there's too many of those. It gets boring. Then we get a week off. We get the 3rd weekend of June off, and then the 4th weekend of June is Sonoma. we will be there. 24th of June in Sonoma. We always go. And that's a good time of the year for the race in the West Coast, because Sonoma, you'd have to see it to really appreciate it. You can see it on TV, you can see the hills and all like that, but it is a big trek. The last couple of years, we've walked around that track, and I don't mean on the track, but in the paths that are in the fan areas around the track. That is quite a hike. If you go from the grandstands down to the bottom, up to 7 at the top, turn 7 up the top, that is a good hike. That's a good half hour or so to get up there to, which is probably the best seating in all of Sonoma. We've walked around, we've sat in all the sections trying to see what would be the best seating. 7, because you can see the cars coming over the hill off of 2 and 3. They come down, they turn in 7. There's lots of spin out there. A lot of contact. Every time turn 7, there's contact every lap. And if you like that kind of thing, guys shoving each other out of the way, that is a lot of fun. And then you get to see them going down the S's. And a lot of times coming out of 7, they get on the gas too quick, or two guys get side by side, just a little bump, bang, somebody's in the grass or in the tires. You know, a lot of places at Sonoma, because of the size of it, there are no safer barriers, so they use tires. They use tire barriers. And watching a car hit the safer barrier is one thing, but when you watch a car hit the tires, that's really a riot. That's a lot of fun. Spencer just mentioned something. The main grandstands at Sonoma, you can only see 50% of the track. Maybe not even that. First year we went there, Spencer, we got the nice seats. Start finish line grandstands in the shade. We thought, oh, we got it made. This is going to be wonderful. You can't see down at the end. You can't see turn 11. You can't see half the track. You're going up. You're right. 50% maybe, but that's about it. If you get to go to Sonoma, do not sit in the grandstands. Take it from me. We've been there about 10 times now. Take it from Spencer. Turn 7 is the place to be. You can see most of the track, and that's where the action is. It's a lot of fun. And plus, let me take it from me. If you drive there, getting out of there, if you sit in 7, it's probably about the best place to park and all like that. First year we went to Sonoma, 4 hours. 4 hours to get back to the highway from the racetrack. And it's not that far. It's just, man, boom, it's a mess. Boss Lady chimes in, says, sitting at the start-finish line, you can be watching the big screen. That's true. Absolutely true. So take my word. If you ever get a chance, Sonoma is great because San Francisco is great. It's a whole lot of fun. And it's just an amazing place to go to San Francisco. There's so much to do that week when you're there, and all NASCAR fans all over the place, and all. It's a lot of fun. Let's move on. Chicagoland. There's a lot of people that are disappointed that Chicagoland is moving to the first week of July. I don't think people will be disappointed. It's a change. You know, you need change every once in a while, and you know, you got to change things up. You got to change your style every once in a while. You got to change your music you listen to. You got to change the movies you watch. You got to change what you eat. Every once in a while in your life, you undergo some change and all. And these things are good and all. This, I think, will be good. I think it'll be good for the fans too. Bring in some more people. July 7th, we're back to Daytona. Summer race at Daytona. No race at Daytona is bad at any time of the year. That's all we got to say. Daytona, I love the racing there. Also watched that since I was a kid when you used to watch Wild World of Sports on ABC. They'd give you 20 minutes of the race. But you would sit and you'd wait and you'd wait and wait every Saturday. Is this going to be the Saturday? Is this going to... Oh, yeah, 20 minutes of NASCAR. And it was like, you know, getting a sip of water if you're out in the desert. At least you got 20 minutes of it. But they would always do a good job of it and all. This is back in the days before cable, where even if you live in a big city like Los Angeles, where we were lucky enough to have 7 channels before cable TV, which most of these had 2, 3, 4. We had 7 channels. You got 20 minutes of NASCAR every once in a while. That was it. So back in the day. Right now, guys, we are spoiled. The racing is so good right now. The camera work is amazing in NASCAR. Yeah, both with Fox and with NBC, the camera work is amazing. The little cameras on the top of the cars, the little cameras in the rear bumpers of the cars, the cameras inside the cars, and you can see all this stuff going on in the detail. And it's an amazing. Just you have to watch it. Kentucky Speedway. The only bad thing I've ever heard about at Kentucky is that you cannot get out of the place. It is probably the worst ingress and egress track on the NASCAR circuit. From everything I've read from the people who do the NASCAR radio shows, they love the track. They hate to go there because they know it's going to take 6 hours to get out of there. But whatever. They'll fix that one day. I think Kentucky puts on a good race. New Hampshire Motor Speedway. If I have a track that I'm bored with every year, it's New Hampshire. It's flat. It has nothing special to it. And I'm sorry, it's just not much going on in New Hampshire. I don't know why they don't do something about it, but it's just nothing going on. You know, maybe they ought to have turn it into a figure eight track or something. I don't know. It's just, to me, and that's just me. All right, I'm sure there are lots of people who love it. End of July, back to Pocono. I like Pocono. I like to throw in a suggestion. Run Pocono the other direction in the second race. Make all right-hand turns. I mean, heck, the road courses are right-hand. I don't know if any of you ever thought about that, but the two road courses that NASCAR runs are all right-handed. You're running clockwise. The whole course is set out to run clockwise, where all the ovals are counterclockwise. So how come is that? Why is that? How come they don't run one of the ovals? I think Pocono would be the perfect place because the straightaways are long. You only have 3 turns. I bet you could set up Pocono to run that race counterclockwise or clockwise one year. And yeah, JDM just mentions they have an infield road course. That could be a cool idea too. Road courses are the bomb. If you got a track that's already got a road course set up, hey, why not? Why not? Give it a shot. You got to have some variety, because if there's not a lot of variety in NASCAR, you know what? People are going to get tired of it. The old crowd is going to move away from it. You got to have variety. You can see this year with Monster Energy, if you go to the track, they are putting more entertainment on the track. Burnouts, motorcycles, and things like that. More stuff going on around. Sprint used to have Miss Sprint Cup. Maybe sometimes you'd get two Miss Sprint Cups at a race. They got girls all over the place and all like that. They got different things going on. They got, like I say, guys doing burnouts, guys doing wheelies, you know, jumping trucks and things like that. There's more stuff. They want you to see more stuff. Brings more people in. Hey, I think that's a great thing, you know. Watkins Glen. I love Watkins Glen. I love the race. I would love to go to a Watkins Glen race. I would go to New York to sit and watch the Watkins Glen race. I don't care where on the track I got to sit. Grandstands in the tunnel. I'd really like to have to sit at the bus stop. The bus stop, you know, is that thing down on the back straightaway, that long straightaway, that little chicane that they take, you know, to slow them down and all before they get into the back part of the track. I would love to go to Watkins Glen and sit at the bus stop and just watch that all day long, because that is just awesome. Those cars come bearing down on you and all like that. Plus, just look at the terrain around Watkins Glen. It looks beautiful. Looks like a beautiful place to hang out and spend a Sunday. Charles says he's in New York right now. Charles, have you ever been to Watkins Glen? Let us know. Let us know. I'd like to know if you've ever had a chance to go up there and see that track. After Watkins Glen, you go back to Michigan again. Like I said, Michigan, cookie cutter, mile and a half, bank turns, fast. And, you know, what can I say? It's fast, but it's one of those tracks where if you get out in front in the clean air, it's awful hard to get caught. Stage racing will be good for Michigan to break that race up a little bit. August 18th, back to Bristol Motor Speedway. Bristol, that's a Saturday night race. Bristol is what it is. Bristol is always fun. There's lots of stuff going on, beating and banging. You never know what's going to happen at Bristol because everything is side by side. Is compact. They work really hard to make a good race there. and all like that. And so that's what we're interested in. Bristol. It's always fun. And then you come to Darlington. I love Darlington because of all the extra effort they put into that race to go with the retro paint schemes. The different teams who, no, wait, I don't. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for the offer, but no, I don't. No, but the extra effort they put in every year, the retro paint schemes, the retro unis, the fire suits and all like that, the retro commercials, and that they bring in some of the old-time announcers. Ken Squire just got voted into the NASCAR Hall of Fame. The Jarretts, the guys who were calling races 30 and 40 years ago, these guys are classics. These guys are professionals. The guys who do it now are professionals too. Don't get me wrong, but they have just some amazing talent. Ken Squire gets out there to call that race. What a voice the guy has. I just love to listen to him call it. It's like the old days. I feel like I'm a kid again because I can just close my eyes and listen to that guy talk like when I was a kid. Yeah, that's amazing. JDM says he has a fun fact about Darlington. No rookie has ever won at Darlington. That's an interesting fact. It is very good. That's very fun. JDM, I like to hear that kind of stuff. I'm glad when you guys, when everybody in the chat has something interesting like that to throw in. If you have something good to throw in, some little nugget like that, and that's a nugget. I like to hear that kind of stuff. That's pretty good. Spencer, I agree, Spencer. If you have no experience at Darlington, you are out of luck, man. You are going to get that Darlington stripe. And if you don't know what the Darlington stripe is, somebody should tell you, or you look it up what the Darlington stripe is. That is true throwback. And like I said, that's a fun thing about that race. It's throwback, the old schemes, the old sponsors and things like that. That's awesome. And that's like a lot of people like that to take a step back. Also, Labor Day weekend. Hey, who doesn't like 3-day weekends like the one we've got right now, right? So all good at Darlington. After that, the last race now of the regular season is going to be Indianapolis. Indianapolis is an interesting thing because it's different. It's different, and it can be a horrible race. It can be a terrific race. You never know what you're going to get out of Indianapolis. If you have been with us for a while, you remember a few years ago that debacle they had with Indianapolis and the tires that were falling apart. And they were throwing a caution every 12 laps to change tires. It was a mess. It was absolute disaster. It was like if anything could have killed Indianapolis, that should have been it. Yo, what's happening, Zach? Nice to see you come in. I'll yak at you after the show, but I'm glad to see you in tonight, Zach. Hope you had a good day. No, Indianapolis, you never know. You never know what you're going to get. Though the spectacle of Indianapolis, the size of that track, Indianapolis is big enough that you could take like 3 or 4 other NASCAR tracks and put them in the infield all at the same time. I mean, that is one big place. And there is something to be said for big facilities and his facilities with history and things like that. Maybe it's not the most spectacular racing every year, but there's also the atmosphere of it. You know what I mean? A lot of restaurants who get all fancy and all, they want to provide atmosphere and all like that. Sometimes they don't have the best meals, but sometimes just being in a cool place is part of the whole deal, of the whole experience. Indianapolis is like that. Plus, you know what? If you are needing to get a good race or a good points day to make it into the playoffs, and you got to do it at Indianapolis, that's a real wild card this year. That is a real wild card. You never know. This might just turn out to be, you might just find some guys that are desperate at Indianapolis. And when I say desperate, I mean they will beat, they will bang, they might even spin out their own teammate to 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 accomplish something there. So you never know. It will be interesting. It will be interesting. What is this, Zach? You guys met Richard Petty, the king? That is awesome. That is awesome. Richard Petty is the king of NASCAR. You know, that is something, and you guys got to meet him today. That is awesome. That is awesome. Don't wash your hands so you can come home and I'll touch your hand. And just kidding. But no, that was awesome. You guys got to do that. I'm glad you got that experience. All right, let's talk about the playoffs. 10 races, the playoffs, the chase, right? Richard Petty's 80th birthday. That's amazing too. I hope you sang happy birthday to him, Zach. If you didn't, I want you to go back there and sing back happy birthday to him on Sunday. Anyway, the playoffs. Playoffs start at Las Vegas. Las Vegas gets the second race this year. And you know what? That is good news for Las Vegas. That is good news for NASCAR fans because Vegas draws the fans and it's something different. The chase, the playoffs, whatever you want to call them, are starting out different this year, and that can only be good. Then we go to Richmond. Richmond always produces a good race. And then Charlotte Motor Speedway on the 30th. Who knows? That's the end of the first round. First round, you lose 4 guys out of the chase, and you know, it's too bad for them. But then you move down. The crowd gets, let's say, the competitive crowd gets even more talented. Maybe you have some rookie breakthrough this year. Who knows? And all like that. Let's see, we've got Vegas, and then we have Dover. Dover is an interesting track because it is tight, and if you're desperate, once again, guys are going to be beaten, guys are going to be banging, guys would run over their own grandma to get points in the chase. You know what the chase is like. You watch those races. They're another step up. Plus now with the new format with the segments and all like that, could be extra special. After Dover, Talladega. I personally am kind of sad a little bit that it's not done in Dega, because up till this year, Talladega was the 6th race in the chase, and talk about desperation time. You had to win that thing. If you were going to move on, you had to win that. Guys would do anything. Now it's the 5th race, and Kansas is the elimination race for the next round. I'm not sure I'm crazy about that change, quite frankly. Talladega, like I said, still my thing, Talladega, and I like the fact that guys would do anything, including that rotten Keselowski running over Jeff Gordon and flattening his tire with 2 to go a few years ago. That one still hurts, and you know, I just don't like Keselowski. Just for that incident alone, I don't like that guy. You know, I think he's a dirty racer, but that's just my opinion. I'm sure other people do like the guy, but whatever. I don't like it because he took Jeff out of that race, and that teed us off. We do not like that. Anyway, Kansas Speedway is the second elimination race. Then you're down to 8 guys. You got 4 races to go. It's getting really serious. And of course, you got to go to Martinsville and race in that little tiny short track, door to door. Anybody who comes out of that race without a scratch on his car is not trying. That's all I got to say. Anybody who comes out of that race and his car is not beat up, he hasn't got 4 crumpled fenders, and he hasn't pissed off, angered a number of other drivers in that race, then you are not trying hard. You have got to do that in Martinsville. That's why I like that second Martinsville race, because guys are desperate. They got to go on, and of course they want to win the clock, right? So they got to do that. Texas Motor Speedway, once again, guys going almost 200 miles an hour. They're Lombard dad to the hauler. I'm sorry, boss lady. I did not mean to say that. Man, I'm in trouble. That's all I got to say. To the hauler. Good grief. no breaks here, I got to tell you. But whatever. That's my fault. Anyway, so Texas Motor Speedway, guys are getting desperate. Guys are going 198, 212 miles an hour to the hauler. That's all I got to say. But no, they're going to be desperate. And then we go back to Phoenix. Phoenix is the last elimination race of the chase. You go from 8 guys down to 4 guys, and you get your final 4. Let me tell you about Phoenix. They're reconfiguring Phoenix so nobody knows what it's going to be like this year. You never know what you're going to get at Phoenix because there's no out of bounds rules on that dog leg. I remember a few years ago on the last lap, Larson was going to make it to the end, and here comes Newman and bumps him into the wall. Newman wanted it more. Larson was driving like a racer. Newman was driving like a crazy, desperate racer, but you know what? He did what he did, and he moved on, and Larson didn't. And just between you and me, I think Larson still owes him one, but and maybe he'll do it one day because I don't know. I like Larson. He's I like Larson. He's a guy. He is a wheelman. Larson is not a big guy. Larson is one of those little wiry guys who gives every last ounce of his strength to moving those cars around the track. And he's not afraid to use the wall. He's not afraid of the wall. He just, if you've seen Larson run at the truck race in the midsummer, the dirt track race at Eldora, Larson will ride the wall. I like old Larson. Last race, November 18th, which happens to be a birthday of 2 people I'm very, very proud of and that I love quite a bit. November 18th, Homestead, Miami. Somebody asked last night if Homestead, Miami won't be the last race of the season, if they ever will change that. No. Reason being, it's late in the year. A lot of places on the circuit, you don't have good weather. But you're going to have good weather down in Homestead late in the year. And yes, anything and beyond, does anybody care about me? We do. We do. We're just yakking here, buddy. And we're happy that you're here all the time. All right? I like all the little emojis too. That's fun. But yes, we do care about you. We're happy you're here. I'm happy all you people show up for my talks. I know I'm a little bit boring. I'm a little long-winded, but I like to talk. I like to share my thoughts with you guys. I really have a good time. I really do. Anything and beyond, you can stop in any time, buddy. Any time. Okay? We're happy that you're here. Anyway, Brian said he isn't driving, but favorite driver all time is Mark Martin. Mark Martin is like, well, let's say Kyle Larson is like Mark Martin 30 years ago. Mark Martin is one of those little tiny wiry guys. If he's got 2 ounces of fat on him anywhere, I have no idea where he is. No, where it is. That little dude is in shape. If you meet Mark Martin in person, he's a little short guy, but he is like all put together. He is all muscle, that guy. He is in shape. Trust me. And you can stay that way. You can stay that way all the time, all your life. All you have to do is work at it. Anything. I hope that emotion is a happy day. I'm happy you're here. I hope you're happy to be here with us too. Anyway, Homestead, Miami. I love that race. I love that race because you're going to see the champion. It's going to be fun. Jonathan Blue. Okay, there's my answer. That race is going to be fun. I'm just wondering if it were to happen. I like to think this way sometimes. What happens this year if during that championship race that Danica wins the regulation race? What is the biggest news of the day? Is it what if Junior wins that race? Is the big news that it's Junior's last race and he wins it and he wins the championship? Is that the biggest news? Is that the news that will be the headline? Or is it that Danica wins the race? What do you think about that? I'll give you my thought on that. My thought is for, a few hours, It'll be Danica. That'll be the big news. That'll be the overnight news. The lasting, enduring news and story that will stay with NASCAR for years and years is that Junior, most popular driver on the circuit, 14 years in a row, pulled it out in his last race and won the championship in his last race. But that is the stuff like legends are made of. That is the kind of stuff that, they write books about. Trust me, that will be it. Danica will be overnight news, and I'd be happy for Danica. Trust me. Danica, I'd be happy to see her win that race. Shut a lot of people up who give her a hard time that they shouldn't be giving her a hard time. That little woman can drive a car. She's 35 years old, about 105 pounds and 5'1", and can wheel a full-size cup car. Believe me, she can drive. And she gets my respect for that. And the fact that I like that she gets teed off. If something bad happens to her, she's in like, oh, well, I'll be back next week. She gets angry because she wants to win. And I like that about people. But if Junior were to be able to reel off the win at Homestead, Miami in his last race, God bless him. That would be the biggest news in NASCAR in the last 10 years. Trust me. That would be great news, and that would be historic, and all like that. Anyway, we're 41 minutes into the hour. I know you've got to be tired of hearing me talk. I want you guys to just, I want answers. I want to answer. If you got to pick the winner of that last race, and they said, pick Danica or Junior, I want everybody to vote. Give me one word answer. Give me Danica, give me Junior. I got to know. I'd like to see who's among all of you that are in the chat right now. I'd like you to know. Let's take a little poll real quick and see. Junior. Okay, Boss Lady chimes in with Junior. I got to admit, I agree. Junior. We got 3-1. Here we go. Here's another one for Junior. That's 4-1 so far. 4-2. I'm keeping score here, guys. All right, we're 4-2. Junior to Danica. Up, it's 5-2. It looks like Junior's got the early lead. Somebody voted twice. Here's 6-2, 6-3. 6-3. Not bad. Junior. Here's another one. 88 for life, of course. Danica one day, but this one for Junior for his final year, I have to agree. Undecided. I don't know. Sure, you're undecided. Don't tell me that, JDM. Come on, buddy. We know that you're a big Junior fan, right? So I don't know. So far, Junior's running away with it. Here's an honest answer. I don't know. Chris Hernandez is Junior. It says Dale. All right, got to go. Charles, see you tomorrow. Have a good one, Charles. Have a good weekend. Have a safe holiday weekend, dude. All right. Let's see. I don't think Danica will ever win a race. You just might be surprised, Hall. You just might be surprised. You never know. You never know. It could happen. It could happen. Lots of weird things happen in the world. All right. Lots of strange things happen. Right. And who knows? Who would have ever thought? And using my history and my oldism, my oldness. 20-something years ago, almost 30 years ago, they played a little 5-minute clip, a little cartoon clip on a show of a little cartoon family called The Simpsons. It was a 5-minute clip on another show, Tracy Ullman show, right? And now The Simpsons is the longest continuously running episodic TV show in history of any type. In prime time, no show has run as long as The Simpsons. You might be a Simpsons fan. You might not be a Simpsons fan. Whatever, however you feel about it. But you never know what will happen. Who knows from a little 5-minute cartoon clip that people have made a career, people have made a lifetime living working on that show. Simpsons short started in 1987. All right. If Zach says 1987, I believe him because Zach's mind is like a computer. He knows this stuff. I mean, he's amazing. He's like a file cabinet in his mind. He loves all this stuff. Zach says he loves the older episodes and seasons of Simpsons. I do too. I love them. They're great. I love all the characters and things. A lot of fun. I'm just thinking about Minions. Minions, we love Minions. Hey, that's coming up soon, right? Despicable 3 out soon in the theaters, guys. I know I will be there the first weekend in my Minions t-shirt. I'm not too proud to admit I have a Minions t-shirt. Love the thing to death. A great gift I got. And I'm waiting for that too. Despicable Me 3. That's right, Spencer. We're waiting to see that one. Hall wants to know what Joe's up to. Knowing Joe, probably no good. No, not just kidding. Zach says at the end of next month for Minions. All right. Favorite character on The Simpsons? God, there's so many of them. There's so many of them. They're just funny. I don't know. I can't say. I can't say. A Minion T-shirt and a candy necklace. The boss lady is reminding everybody that when I go to the movies, you know those little candy necklaces you can get on the little like rubber band type string. I like to take those things and eat them during the movies and just crunch on them because I like the crunchy candy and like that. Instead of eating like greasy popcorn and stuff like that, I like to eat candy necklace. I don't eat them anywhere else but the movies, and I love it. But then I play with the rubber band during the rest of the movie with my hands like this and like that. Drives boss lady nuts. You know, it just drives her crazy that I do that. But you know, I'm an active type. I don't want to say I'm fidgety or anything like that. That's right, boss lady drives me nuts. Speaking of fidgety, I don't know if any of you guys have one of these things. It's this little fidget spinner little dude thing that's going on around right now. If you need this to cope with the world, you know, if you need that to cope with the world, I don't know what to tell you. If you need that, you know, it's, let me tell you, one of these, this thing is made of 4 wheel bearings. Wheel bearings, they're common in the hardware world. This little jewel, this little wheel bearing here is worth probably 20 cents imported, right? They come from China, right? There's actually one in the middle here. They put a couple of buttons for your fingers and all like that, and you can play with this thing and all like that. This little jewel, guaranteed, from China, costs $1, imported. And there's no import duty on it because of it's a toy. There's no import duty. So this little jewel cost $1 to bring into the country. So whatever you paid more than $1 for this thing, that's pure profit for somebody. Trust me, I know. I'm in the business of the hardware business. That this little thing is worth $1. Okay, so if you paid $10 for this or whatever, believe me, somebody made a lot of money off of you. So you should sit and spin that thing like crazy. It's like whatever. Anyway, if it keeps you happy, if it keeps the baby quiet, whatever. It's certainly not harmful. It's too big to swallow. So hey, whatever, you know. It's a lot of fun. Used to be the Rubik's Cube. Anybody know how to work a Rubik's Cube or what the secret is to the Rubik's Cube? The secret to the Rubik's Cube is whatever color is in the center box. You know, it's 3 across and 3 down. Whatever color is in the center box, that color is the axis of that side. That color never moves. You can move the colors on the vertical colors. You can spin the vertical cubes. You can spin the horizontal cubes. You can spin that middle cube. But whatever color is the middle box, that one is what you should try to make all the other boxes on that side match. Don't think that you're going to move that. Okay? You're never going to move that thing. That is on the axis of the Rubik's Cube. So if the middle box is red, that you could try to make all the other ones red. That's how to solve the Rubik's Cube. Anyway, so Zach says they're difficult to do. You're right. If you start with that one little secret, knowing that that little box is never going to move, then that solves about half of it right there. You know. Anyway, say okay, Wizards just got back from his laptop. Took 44 minutes to do your homework. Right on, dude. Doing your homework. You got education. Right? I push education. I push smart. You got to know stuff, because you know what? The more you know, the more you make. Okay? It's just a fact of life. It's a fact of American life. You know what? The more you know, the more valuable you are to an employer, or even to yourself if you run your own business. The more you know, the more you make. And if you want to have a decent life, you want to be able to have a family and have children and take care of them, like I do. It's that's what you do. The more you know. That's my advice to you in my 63 years. If I can give you one good piece of advice, know everything. Learn as much as you can. Good stuff, bad stuff, everything. Anyway, so that's what you got to do. Anyway, favorite other toys now. Now that we get to talk about Rubik's cubes and spinners, anybody else got a little fidgety thing that they like, that they think is fun? So you got an idea? When I was a kid, I always tell people, when I was a kid, when we played, you played face to face, because you were throwing a ball back and forth, or you were throwing a frisbee at each other, or playing pretend sword fights with them. But people played face to face. The little girls were face to face because they were jumping rope or something like that. Now, kids play side to side. And I know you gamers, you know this exactly. If you're in the same room with one of your friends and you're playing a video game, you're both watching the same vertical plane, right? You're not looking at each other. You're sitting side by side. You're both in a room, but you're not looking at each other. That's the difference with play these days. You don't play face to face anymore. You play side by side. A lot of times you're not even in the same room, and you gamers know this. You're not even in the same state. From watching Joe and Zach play, a lot of times you're not even in the same country. You know. So believe me, the world has changed. It's a lot different, but hey, there's lots of good things. B-Mill says you're playing FIFA 17, got 2 yellow cards in 6 minutes. Guy, you must calm down, because one more and you're gone. Nobody likes to be out of the game, right? It's more fun to play. You don't like to get thrown out, right? Don't lose your cool. Play, chill. It's just a game, right? That's what we always like to say. That's one of the sayings that we have here at Lombard Bros Gaming. And Boss Lady came up with this. She said, "Hey, chill. It's just a game, right?" And that is the truth. That is the truth. Zach, everybody play with Cracker Jacks. Beat your head to death. Clackers, you're right. That's why you can't find those anymore. When Clackers first came out, they were shattering. People were getting like broken stuff in their face and in their eyes and stuff like that. If you ever find anybody with an old set of Clackers, be careful. Be careful. Boss Lady knows for sure. Anyway, JDM says, never heard of Clackers before. Dude, Google it, okay? And be amazed that people would ever play with something so stupid, you know, but whatever. It says, I'm so epic 8. Says, did you enjoy seeing Dale Sr. and racetrack back then? No, I never did. I wasn't a NASCAR fan until about, a big fan during that part of my life. I was too busy raising the kids and coaching basketball. When Dale Sr. was racing, I coached basketball. I coached for about 16 seasons. So I got away from racing for a while. Basketball was our big thing at the time, and it takes a lot of time. You run a business, you coach basketball, you don't got much time for anything else. That and just being with your family and all like that. I got away from the racing for a while, but I'm glad I'm back, because for one, I'm enjoying this opportunity now to yak with you guys, all you gamers and you guys who love racing and all like that. Racing gets into you, driving cars and things like that. It gets under your skin and you never get over it. Last Saturday, this is a true story. Joseph and I went to the Arizona Commemorative Air Museum. They had an old B-17. They had an old F-86 Saberjet. A number of other classic airplanes, beautiful airplanes, from old biplanes to 40s era passenger jets, passenger planes, big old prop planes and all like that. And there was an old guy there. He was 91 years of age, one of the docents. His name was Buck Buchanan. Right? Buck Buchanan was telling us about flying in the B-17 during World War II. Pretty sharp guy. I've flown in a B-17, and I knew this guy knew what he was talking about. Pretty sharp guy, old Buck Buchanan, 91 years of age. We went out to the parking lot, and in this reserved parking spot, it says Buck, right? There was a Dodge Viper. Arizona plates, Buck B. So this old 91-year-old guy still driving a Viper, it never gets old. It never gets old. If you love to drive, if you love cars and things like this, I mean, we were shocked. Joe and I were just kind of like looking at each other going, that's amazing. That's a 91-year-old guy, and he's still driving a Viper back and forth. Bless his heart. That is amazing. If you've ever had a chance to ride in a Viper, or even heard somebody turn one on, they're amazing. Zach can tell you all about the Vipers. But no, this old guy we met, sharp, 91, driving a Viper. Right on, dude. That's all I can say. I hope you can do that for another 91 years, Buck. Anyway, nice guy. Knew his stuff. Knew his airplanes. I love airplanes. Flown in a B-17, flown in a B-24, and I'm going to go one of these days next year, hopefully, maybe get to ride in a B-25. Love to do it. Zach is telling me they have a 95 Dodge Viper at the Automotive Driving Museum where he works. They do, and it's a beautiful car. I wonder if maybe one day they'll leave the keys in it. Let me take a little spin. Probably not, but it'll still be fun. Anyway, we're going to do this again. We're going to have another live chat. Go to the website. Look at the schedule. When the boys are out of town, I'm going to be sitting in because we don't want to leave you guys hanging. We don't want you to go with and not have anything to yak about because we have a good time yakking. And quite frankly, I have a good time with you guys. I love to read the chat. I love to see the talk back and forth between you guys, between the moderators, between the other visitors to the site. We'll do this again. Think about next time. Maybe we'll talk. Boss lady. Thank you for reminding me because I would have forgot. Next Thursday, I'll be on with Joe on Talk Show. Joe and I, we're going to do a special. We're going to have a drawing, and 2 lucky people will win a free gift pack. All the Lombard Bros gaming gear, all the different stuff that we have. We're going to have a drawing. Go to the website, check it out, and all like that. But we will do this next Thursday. We're going to have a live drawing for two of our visitors to Lombard Bros Gaming. We hope that you like what you see on Lombard Bros Gaming. We hope you like to come game with us. Typically, it's 3 to 6 Pacific. Oh, I'm sorry, 2 to 5 Pacific. My bad. 5 o'clock on the East Coast. I'm sorry. Boss Lady says Joe and Zach are doing the talk show, their normal talk show next week. You know what? They're right. She's right. I got all excited about the drawing. My mistake, Boss Lady. I'm sorry. That's why we need her around to keep track of what's going on here. Sometimes I lose track of what's going on, but she watches out for this channel. She watches out for this business. She watches out for her family, and she loves her mods. She loves the visitors. She loves doing what she's doing with this, and we love her. We love her to death, and it's just it wouldn't be the same without her. And so there we go. Boss Lady, the Queen, right? Boss Lady, the Queen. Normally 7 o'clock Eastern on Thursdays. You're right. 7 o'clock Eastern on Thursdays. I got to write this stuff down. Go to the website. The right information is there. Obviously, you're not getting it from this guy. I just got excited tonight. I really love this. I have to say I'm grateful for the opportunity to do this when the boys are out of town. I'm grateful that you give me an hour of your time. Time is a gift. Time is a real gift. And Joseph and Zach will be back at their normal talk show next Thursday. And I hope you're watching. And I thank you for being here tonight. The boss lady just gave me the big eye roll. I'm sorry. I love you, darling. Anyway, good night, you guys. I hope you have a good holiday weekend. I hope you have a safe holiday weekend. Get out, have some fun. Get out in the sun. Go to the park. Go do whatever. Play some baseball. Go be with your friends, man. Just have a good time and enjoy. It's a great time.